So we're back at the Broward County Stadium. Eddie was along with Audley Watson. Audley, you might want to give the listeners a little taste as to both teams that are playing now. So as soon as Audley is mic'd up, we're ready to go.
Thank you, Eddie. Just about ready. So it's going to be Somerset Cavaliers. They'll be playing
the 22 yards Sultans.
I'm trying to pull that up.
And the Cavaliers being captained by Navizja.
Samp Army. So it's the Somerset Cavaliers and the Samp Army. They'll be doing duel at this time. And opening bat for the batting team, Chandapal Hemraj, West Indian representative.
Man out of Guyana.
Yes.
So here's Kasir Reddy and Tariq.
My correction, Hemraj is a bowler. Chandapal Hemraj, he's the opening bowler.
We just want to make sure that we get it right. So we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty here. Just trying to make sure that the technician rectify the problem. So we apologize.
Okay, we're back. Nope.
So I think White is telling me that I'm on air. So Somerset Cavaliers and Samp Army are the two teams playing out in the middle right now. And it's one over for 1 run. So we're into over number 2.
Steady, very quiet start so far. Just 1 run, and we're in the second over.
We have the lights on here at the Central Broward County Stadium.
Mr. White will be stepping in right now.
So Kasir Reddy is on 1. He has faced some 5 deliveries, and Tariq is on 4. Is on North. He has faced some 4 delivery. Najib Shah is the man. Najib Shah rather is the man operating from the southern end, and you would have seen much of Shah over the years Mr. White.
Yes, very, very economical bowler. As you
So
pull down to mid wicket, they're looking for two. Should come back quite comfortable in the end. Yeah, but we know Shah has been very economical throughout the US Open, throughout the years. And as he displayed that in his first over, bowling some very good inners towards the left-hander. He's a very, what you say, clinical in terms of his bowling ability. He gets the job done very efficiently and in a timely manner for the skipper. So that's the reason why he keeps coming back to play US Open, because one of the most economical bowler throughout the years in the US Open tournament.
So as a captain, you want to lead by example and lead from the front.
You see the ball moving in the air, a lot of inward movements to the right-hander, and for some reason the batsman is still able to dig them out. But great stuff from the man, Shah himself.
And that was played out towards the mid-wicket region. So we've lost sunshine here, and we're now playing on the lights at the Broward County Stadium. So for those of you who are listening in Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, Guyana, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua, and I don't think that I would be remiss if I leave out Jamaica. I know I would hear it from Mr. White all day long or all week long.
Yeah, you know that it's a very, very great thing. You know, the islands and the different islands, how they we combine as unit, as one, and get together and say the West Indies. You know, very diverse set of people, very friendly, Caribbean party atmosphere.
They call it the Cavalier Calypso cricket type of people. What part of Jamaica are you from, though?
From the eastern side, it's called the parish of Portland, one of the most beautiful parishes in Jamaica, very green forestry. And when you talk about rivers, that's the river capital of Jamaica. Lots of rivers for you to go enjoy yourself.
I kind of figured you would have said something like that. I was hoping for that. That one is played out over cover, and will it run away to the boundary? It has enough legs. No, it just pull back maybe about 1.5 inches away from the boundary. So good looking shot. Takes the score now to some 5 without loss.
And they're operating with spin from the other end. Chandapal Imraj, another player who plays his trade in New York, Guyana-based player as well, but very talented fella. He opened the batting with Kemar Lewis, who is wicket keeping today, it seems. Another destructive opening batsman who I was really, really disappointed didn't get selected in this year's CPL tournament. And I thought the way the pitches played, I think his style of batting would have suited the Jamaica Talawa this here in the CPL. He would have brought, I think, his experience at top of the innings, because that's what the Jamaica Talawas team was missing, the explosiveness at the top. There was no Chris Gale, Russell was injured, and I think they missed out big time not bringing Kenar Lewis into the CPL.
And not very long ago, he would have represented the Jamaica Talawas here in Southland and in the CPL as well. Saw him here on a number of occasions.
Yeah, and he got a very crucial, I think, partnership with Russell. I think the year before he got some 60 odd, and he's bowling. Chandapal Imrad strikes, and a wicket's down. Very good delivery there.
That was a nasty delivery, cutting back into the batsman. He was looking to back away to give himself room to perhaps punch it out towards the point gully area, and in the end lost his wicket. So the first wicket has fallen. It is 6 for 1. Hemorrhage has strike big for his team.
Yeah, very good stuff. He started out very tidy, as both bowlers has been really tidy if you ask me. But you know, Somerset Cavaliers, they're a big team, a very big team in this tournament. Last year they won it convincingly with Chandapal and Kenara Lewis in the final both got half centuries to brought them to the title in the final. So this is not a joke team. This is a very strong team. And if you ask me, on papers we have seen so many different teams, so many big name, but this team could be in for a second look in a row in the trophy this year.
I'm pretty much sure that they enter the competition with lots of high expectation, want to repeat as champions of the MAQ T20 tournament. Of course, this is a 12th year, and certainly every year seems to be getting better and better. And this year, I believe, because of the pandemic situation, probably turn out to be the best year of the T20 tournament.
Absolutely. Normally we have a lot more teams, because even my team didn't get a chance to enter this year because of the limited restriction in terms of the COVID restriction. And so I think this year it's been bigger, it's been better. The caliber of the player that has came into the league this year, in terms of the Chris Gill and the Russell, is supposed to be here as well. So it's great to see it's growing, and that's a positive outlook. It shows a lot that Mr. MAQ Qureshi is doing a fantastic job, and we have to give him credit for that, for bringing the US Open despite the pandemic. I know it was tremendously a lot of effort to get this tournament underway. And
certainly with the hard work of Vinod Manchin down there in Trinidad and Tobago, would be remiss if I don't say a pleasant good evening to you, young man. I know that you're glued to your television set.
He's not missing much of the action. He's very great in terms of communication. He gets communication underway, and that's very, very vital in anything you do. Communication is one of the biggest factor, and I think he has led from the front. He has set example, and I think very, very good leadership he's been displaying as well.
And he's also a well-respected journalist and commentator of the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So the new batsman is Ayan Shah. He's on 2. And Kunal Seagal is on 3. So far the partnership has gone at some 2 runs. Shandapal Hemraj has bowled some 2 overs, and he has gotten some 1 wicket. So he's going to be Navid Shah, who's going to continue from the southern end or the commentary box end, whichever you prefer. And we honor the floodlights here at the Broward County Stadium.
And we did mention earlier about this Cavalier team. When you have the likes of Sean Finley on the bench, left-hander who has gone on to represent West Indies and play for Jamaica on many occasions, when you have a caliber of that player on the bench, it shows the class and the sort of players that the Somerset Cavalier have brought to this tournament.
You sure Finley is not injured, Mr. White? Because I can't imagine a team without Sean Finley if he's fit.
No, absolutely. I just have a few words with him. Shout to him a few minutes ago, and I spoke to him. I said, "What number you're batting?" And he seems to be playing the 12-man role.
He play left back, as a good buddy of mine would say. Playing left back. He's playing a 12-man position.
I'm not quite sure if that's Navin Stewart. I'm seeing that long off.
It looks like Navin Stewart, the man out of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, it is indeed Navin Stewart.
And that he's one of the big assets here as well. This man has won so many titles over the last couple of years. Not just the last couple of years, but throughout the years. But he's been a really, really big asset to the Somerset Cavalier team. He's bowling and he's batting as well. He has won a lot of championship in New York for his team, and I saw him as well in the Trinidad in the T10 league. He was victorious. I think he probably got 8 to 9 title this season. Championship.
Reminds me very much of the young man out of Barbados, Jonathan Carter, who plays a lot of cricket and plays extremely well. Trinidad and Tobago has been represented extremely well here at the MAQ T20 tournament this year. Seeing Kerry Pear, seeing Red Emirate, just to name a few.
Kerry Pear, he's been really, really economical to every tournament you've seen him in, with the West Indies, with with the CPL, and here again he's shown his class and his act, and it's a good exhibition to see these guys coming out and displayed really, really sensible and smart cricket.
Real professionalism they portrayed here. Kerry Pear. So we're just waiting on the batsman now to put on his left glove. Taking him an eternity to do that. He's just about ready now. Settles into his stance. Await the arrival of, is it Navid Shah?
He was struck in the helmet, the delivery before.
So one of course don't know why he was struck on the helmet, because missing a delivery that made some height, and we're looking to pull it down towards the back of the square position. So that's a good looking shot. That's 4 runs. So it takes the tally now up to 12. Ayansha is on 2. Seagull is on 7.
And Seagull is the sort of player, he doesn't like to sit around too much. He likes to play attacking cricket, and if he gets going, it could be fire rackets out there tonight.
Beaten outside the line of the off stump, looking to open the face of the bat to guide it down towards the slip corner, and didn't make contact. And sometimes the ball can play tricks with you, and certainly Navid Shah can move that ball at the very last moment.
And if you look at that delivery, that specific delivery, the first couple of deliveries went into the right-hander. Well, that one pitched and moved away from the right-hander. So this bowler has some tricks up his sleeve, and he's doing a wonderful exhibition of those tonight. Under the light, the ball will move around a bit. Oh, he goes over extra cover. Beautiful looking shot. It looks he's going to run away to the boundary. Very good work there from Navin Stewart, restricting the batsman for 2. But very good looking shot there from the batsman.
Played that with lots of authority and lots of aggression over extra cover. One would have thought for a second that it was running away. It would have gone to the boundary, but it did not. Navin Stewart run extremely well and put it just about quarter of an inch away from the boundary. So good running from Navin Stewart. 14 it is for a loss of 1, and we have just seen the completion of over number 4.
Yeah, run rate very below par at the minute, but you got a really good bowling from both the end. You got Shah, and you've gotten Chandapal Imraj.
So he's continuing.
And I've noticed online we've got quite a few of the New York academic cricketers watching the game. I just want to give a big shout out to Ricky Kisoon and his troop watching the game. Mark Providence, New York. And wherever you are around the world, keep tuning in to MAQ TV, the station for cricket.
That's the word coming from the man, Mr. White himself. And I concur in everything that he has just authored. So 15 it is for the loss of 1 wicket. Somerset Cavaliers looking to repeat here as champions.
So give me a little about your cricketing career.
Well, he played
history.
Played a lot of cricket back in Antigua back in the day, originally from Antigua, but living in the good old US of A quite a while now. Played for the Leeward Islands here in South Florida. Played for Antigua national team here in Antigua, but those are pretty much the defunct team. Ivor Henry used to be my captain when I played for Leeward Islands.
We're going to come back to you there with another wicket down. Imraj again, who strikes a ball pitched outside the off stump, a little bit a turn into the left-hander who played all around the ball. Another wicket down. Chandapal Imraj looking really good at the minute. 15 for the last of 2 wickets.
So we'll have to see who the batsman is that coming back to the pavilion. Coming back to the pavilion, very dejected though, holding his head down.
Needs to be playing that sort of shot so early in the innings, as I mentioned earlier about the the ability to rotate the strike, get ones and two. Things not going your way, you get ones and two, and it only take 2-3 overs for you to get back up into par with the score. So it's a big problem throughout the region in terms of players being able to rotate strike. Back in the last two decent batsmen I've seen for the West Indies were able to maneuver spin a little bit was probably Ramnarit Sarwan and Shivnarine Chandapal and Brian Lara himself. Apart from that, in the 2000 era of cricket for West Indies, I haven't really seen much of West Indies batsmen being able to maneuver, get ones and two and rotate the strike, and that's one of the biggest problem when it comes on to cricket in the region, batsmen being able to rotate the strike and play smart cricket.
Well, this is 220. Everybody wants to go gung-ho. Everybody wants to hit sixes and fours. Everybody wants to get aggressive from ball one.
Yeah, but if you've been watching the nature of the first two games, it all came down to that sort of equation where you saw Chris Gale. He got a run a ball 39 from 41. He didn't get a chance to accelerate the way he wanted to, but it shows maturity. You look at Stephen Taylor the way he went about in innings. He constructed himself, he built a foundation, and then he executed at the end, and that's what you want to see. Oh, that's a very good looking shot, down the ground. It won't go all the way. It should come back for two, but a very good shot there.
Yes, indeed. A ball that was pitched up right in his half, right in his quarter, right in his bedroom, and he took it apart hard and high. Didn't get the distance, though, that he was looking for. So, takes a total to 18 for the loss of 2. Seagal is on 11. Sanjay Stanley is on 1 from 1 delivery. And the Somerset Cavaliers want to put the shackles on the batters of the Samp Army team. So 18 for 2. Lights have gone off or dimmed a bit just to my left where my scores are. So a little bit of words coming in from the captain Najaf Shah to his bowler.
Look who we have, the man himself, Fidel Edwards.
Fidel Edwards, of course, applying his trade now in England, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been getting quite a few wickets over there in the English county cricket tournament, and he's been bowling. He hasn't got the pace as he did a couple of years ago, but he's still accurate. Oh, very good delivery.
Saw him there in the CPL, bowling very well, very accurate, very nippish type of bowler. Has slowed down a bit. Of course, it would be expected.
That comes with age, but it shows that it comes with a lot more maturity as well. If you look at his development prior to this, 6, 7, 8 years ago, he has developed a lot more in terms of his thinking and his ability to bowl good deliveries, and not leeward and awkward like he used to be back in the days for West Indies. He's got more control, he's got more rhythm, and that's very good to see, and he's growing up in age. That's really good.
Well, let's see what happens between him and Sanjay Stanley. It's going to be Fidel who's going to continue from the southern end or the commentary box end, whichever you prefer to call it. Played into the mid-on position. The man himself, Najib Shah, comes across to his left to field. The batsman cannot get a run. 18 it is for 2.
As we approach his over number 6. So they're going at 3.4 runs and over, which is way below par at the minute. I think this Samp Army team need a little bit more experience at the top of the order. If you look at the batsmen that have gone through probably a fracture of inexperience, I would say, the downfall of this team at the minute.
Well, during the coin toss down there, Ivor Henry was talking to the captain of the Samp Army team, and he was telling Ivor that most of the players on his team, they don't really have any big name players, so to speak, but most of the players are 19 or under 19, somewhere thereabout. So it shows just a little bit of inexperience, I might say.
Well, that has a lot to say as well with the coaching staff. They're giving the younger players a chance to grow for the future tournament, US Open, and that's lots of confidence in the coaching staff to bring a very young team per se into the US Open, giving them exposure to these sorts of highly competitive cricket. And that's really good. That's really good to see. Really good to see. And if they can, I'm sure they will learn a lot from this. They might have create a few upsets in this tournament, and that would be good. That would be really good to see if they can, create some upset in this tournament as the underdog.
You want to harness a good crop so that you can prepare for the future, and the youngsters out there, they are pretty much the future. They're on the 19s and the 18s.
And I'm gonna piggy on that topic there in terms of on the 19 cricket coming out of the region. Have you seen a lot of those players who represented the West Indies on the 19 level playing in the CPL or in the regional tournaments, such as for Leeward or Windward or Jamaica or Guyana?
You see 1 and 2, not very much. That's a no ball signal by the umpire. Umpire Jermaine Lindu, the man out of Jamaica.
Yeah, very, very experienced umpire, Mr. Lindo. He has been at the US Open for a number of years. So it's always good to see him back here in South Florida. And whenever he shows up, he always brings good quality to the tournament.
That's one. He swing the way down towards backward square, going towards the boundary, goes into the boundary board just about now, and that's a good looking shot. A delivery from Fidel Edwards. He sank it, and the batsman pivoted onto the back foot and pulled it backward a square for 4.
Well, a very good shot from the batsman. He got in line the ball, and that's the key factor. And he knew it was a no ball, so any outcome, he couldn't have been out. So very good advantage of the no ball from the batsman. Very good shot from Seagull.
So let's see if Fidel Edwards.
Sanjay, sorry.
Let's see if Fidel Edwards will make any adjustment to the field or to his bowling length and line has been preached all day long.
And that's really one of the only hard deliveries that he has bowled. Everything has been really decent outside the off stump with a decent line. But I guess he was trying to something different, knowing it was a no ball.
Trying perhaps to intimidate the young man. Imitation, they say, is the best form of flattery. And I'm pretty much sure that the young man was not shaken up. He took on Fidel Edwards and pulled him away backward a square for 4. Samp Army is on 23. 23 it is for 2. Seagull is on 11. Stanley is on 5. That's the latest score here from the Broward County Stadium.
Yeah, very steady going. They need to probably top the gear up a little bit, get some runs on the board, because they only gotten 24 from 6 overs. The power play has been finished, so it's a lot more room to rotate, get 1s and 2, and build a momentum, start a partnership.
Sometimes I look at captains and I say, well, you have 2 men outside the circle and the batter's not really scoring runs, but at the end of the power play you changes the field and then you start leaking runs. Does that really make sense in most cases?
Well, I guess that's a very good point you just made there, but I guess in some occasion, captains are in a situation like this. I wouldn't make a lot of changes in terms, because the batsman going to get the gaps, get 1s and 2, and in a situation like this, I probably get 1 or 2 more than one more outside, probably 3, and just keep applying the pressure, keep them can't scoring, and from there on.
So at this rate they're going, any prediction as what a total they might crawl to?
Well, the way they're going, I'm looking at probably a 120, 110. But you never know. As we always say in this format of the game, T20 cricket, it's a format where anything can change in 5 overs. You can get 70, 80 yards from 5 overs, so you never know. I don't want to predict this early in the game.
I don't want you to predict when it's later either. I want to make sure I get a good prediction so I can keep tab at you, because
People tracking it. Absolutely.
Ivor Henry told me I have to keep my eyes on you because you're a very slippery guy.
Slipper to handle, eh?
My good friend Ivor Henry.
Absolutely. Amazing individual, Mr. Henry.
Good guy. Enjoy working with him.
Throughout the years, he's bring a lot of, excitement to the commentary box. A lot of, enthusiastic, his energy and everything. It's just a well complete individual, human being. You see him outside of cricket, he's the same nice gentleman that he is in the commentary box. So it's wonderful to see.
I agree with you. 24 it is for 2, and we're into over number 7. Some 6.5 overs ball. 25 for 2.
So we'll basically see most of the big guns that's supposed to be come in the tournament and play. So,
but we haven't seen the explosiveness of Christopher Gale. We saw just a little piece early on today, but perhaps just waiting for the right moment, the right time to explore.
Yeah, and he wasn't under any immense pressure to go for big shots and try to be explosive. I think he played a smart innings, and that's what his team required at the moment, and that's what he contributed. And you can't blame him for the fantastic innings that he played.
Saw him here on a couple of occasions, particularly against New Zealand way back when, and then he came up against India, but had to pull out of that T20 game. Evan Lewis, the young man from Trinidad and Tobago, actually replaced Christopher Gale and actually made 100 in the T20 against India. West Indies end up on one that came as well. So we have seen a lot of players from this team. Another mention, of course, is Fabian Allen. Talk about Kerry Peer and his calm and cavalier approach. 26 it is for 2.
Yep, you mentioned Evan Lewis, and you've got quite a few more of these young lad. Oh, that's a very good shot. And that's going to run away for 4 runs. Very good shot from Seagal. A ball that was full outside the off stump. He punches it over the bowler head. Long off had no chance. It was a little bit too straight. Navin Stewart coming in from long on, trying to cut it off, but it was just too much pace in the ball. So very good shot. And it seems as if they want to put the acceleration on.
Maybe that's the word that came in from the dressing room. Sometimes you never know, with these players and all this technology that goes on. So umpire Linda now is telling the captain and Fidel Edwards to get on with it. Doesn't want to waste more time. Very stern man, won't you say?
Absolutely. Is showing that he's in charge and he's trying to get things on the way, and it's only important that he's in charge out there in the middle, and he has to take responsibility, and that's exactly what he's doing, and that's good example of great leadership.
Well, something is happening out in the middle there, because seeing the Somerset players and the captain Najib Shah has gone up to the umpire and the discussion continues.
Based on my analysis of it has nothing to do with the batting team. So I think it's not a big factor. You see them smiling and having a great time. So I think it's more of a.
Might be very well Fidel Edwards might be going into that little box that umpire always warns you about.
Territory.
In the dangerous territory, dangerous area. Well protected area.
We're still trying to get word from our correspondent to see what's going on, but
So the last wicket to fall was iron sharp ball. Shandapal Hemraj for 2. We're into over number 8. So whatever it is, they're having a hard time getting to the bottom of it to rectify the problem. So you're not missing any cricket here. So it's 30 for 2. And the Army keeps marching on.
30 for 2 after 7.1. Well below the T20 standard at the minute. But it only takes a over a 2 to get things back on track.
So what's your favorite Jamaican dish though?
Okay, so favorite, I would have to go. It's a lot of things that I like in terms of Jamaican dish. So honestly, I'd go baked bean and sawfish. Honestly,
so you're not a Kingston man, because just about every Jamaican that I meet, where you from, they have a tendency telling me they're from Kingston.
Well, you're not the only one. 90% of the Jamaicans that I've met here, anywhere in America, I say, where are you from? It's Kingston.
What is so unique about Kingston, though? Can you tell me and tell my audience?
Kingston is just a very vibrant place. You know, it's the capital of Jamaica, and you know, you always hear a lot of, you know, good stuff about Kingston. You know, so people, because it's a very populous city in Jamaica, or parish, as you would say. People, you know, people from different parts of the world would be more familiarized with Ocho Rios or Kingston or Montego Bay. So when you ask someone where they're from, they're gonna say Kingston, because they probably say a Westmoreland. Your first thing is gonna be like a West. Where is that? So people tend to gravitate to saying Kingston or Ocho Rios or Montego Bay. But me, I always go for Portland, because that's where I'm from. I'm not a big fan of Kingston, honestly. I'm more of the Ocho Rios type of guy, the touristy style. Yeah, that's me mostly. But
when I meet Jamaicans and I start talking, they say, "What part of Jamaica you from?" I say, "Are you serious?" They say, "No, for real. What part of Jamaica you from? Kingston?" I said, "No, guess." They say, "You're from Portland." I said, "No, I'm from Antigua." And they're like, "You talk just like us." I said, "No. You guys talk like we."
But there's a big Jamaican population in Antigua.
Oh, most definitely, and Guyanese too.
Absolutely, and it's just very good to see people living in unity and good spirit and diversity around the world.
And that's the way we love it, and we want it to continue to be that way.
Absolutely, has to be a brother's keeper. You know, that's the best way of life. You know, respecting each other, showing each other love. Because the way things are going, you know, you watch the news every day. It's like, bam, somebody's out. You know, just spread the love, walk with love, talk with love, and this place will be a better place.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't said it any better. I don't think that Shakespeare could have said it any better. Not even Ivor Henry or Audley Watson could have said it any better than you did.
Absolutely. So give me an insight in terms of what's going on in Antigua, because I've got a brother down there, but I want to know what's going on down there in terms of the pandemic and how you guys are coping with it.
Well, the last time I saw the news or listened to the news, I think they had something like maybe 3 cases of the COVID, and 120 something was in quarantine, both in private quarantine and in government quarantine. It's not that big of a deal down there per se. The government is trying to keep it on the wraps, just like every country in the Western Hemisphere, trying to do your best under these circumstances. And now that the vaccine has been made available, just have to sit back and relax and let's see what happens.
Absolutely. And you know, the way that I've seen people gravitating to people and just being a brother's keeper, I think, you know, this virus has shown us a way to get closer to each other and live as one. So that's it's a positive side on the virus, honestly.
So what part of Antigua your brother is living in? St. John's?
Not quite sure, to be honest. I don't know if he's watching this live broadcast.
Or maybe he might text you and say, "Well, I'm in St. John's,
Antigua.
I'm in Green Bay, Grace Farm, Cookshill, Donovan's, Five Islands." Who knows?
That's definitely a conversation I need to have with him next time we have a
Please do. So it seems like we're getting back to the business here. They had a problem with the ball because I saw the umpires came out with the ball and umpire Lindo was tossing it up in the air. So the problem seems to have solved now. And the Samp Army, they're on 30 for 2. Stanley's on 6 from some 10 deliveries. Seagal is on 17 from 20. Fidel Edwards none for 9 from 1.1 over. That was a slow delivery, flicked away down towards the long leg region. Coming across, and the return comes in. Not a very good one, though. The wicketkeeper, Canal Lewis, made a meal of that. But if he had taken it cleanly, I don't think that the batter would have in any danger at all going back to the non-strikers end.
Yeah, and you could see Canal Lewis just signaling to the fielder that the light is a big factor, say, if he could get it on the bounce. And it's a white ball in the light. It's very difficult under the light circumstances to catch a ball. But you know, it's our profession, and that's what we do. So we need to do whatever it takes to get the ball in the gloves.
Indeed, it is.
Oh, that's a very good shot. That's going, and gone. 6 runs. Massive hit. Edwards is shot, and he's been hammered away. Backward a square for 6. Very good shot. Very good shot from Seagal.
This is the second time in the over. He has sink it to the man, and he just pivoted on the back foot and pulled it away.
And that's the problem we have with fast bowlers, or any bowler of the sort. You bowl in so effectively when you get the ball to pitch up. You know, you get movements away, and you're going to bang it in short. And each time you're short, you're going to be punished. You need to play better cricket than that, Fidel Edwards. We spoke about your maturity, and you know you have grown throughout the years, but that's just not smart cricket.
Don't fix it if it is not broken.
Again, more effective delivery, not as short as the one before, but a one that you'd say probably back of a length with a little bit of height on it, which is decent in these sorts of situation.
Cramping the batsman for room as well. .38 for 2. Fidel Edwards none for 17. 1.4 overs.
Very good. Chip out to mid wicket. They're trying to go through for 3. But this over has gone for 14 runs thus far. Fidel Edwards, a little bit expensive in this over, one would say, in the fashion of the game, in terms of another short delivery. Can't score. Fidel Edwards seems to be carrying a toe injury. He has changed his shoes, I think, about 3 times. So this time he's down. Not quite sure what the situation is, but hopefully he'll be okay.
No, you can't afford to lose a player like Fidel Edwards. Not at this stage, not in this competition. It's extremely early in the competition, and for you to even think about losing Fidel Edwards, certainly you wouldn't want to even entertain that thought. But seemed like he's going off the field. He's limping real bad. Now he's going down, and it seems like
not a good sight.
Najar Shah having a word with him, giving a little pat on the back, and perhaps saying all the best, Fiddy.
Well, let's hope it's not as bad as it looks. He looks to be in a lot of pain. So let's hope it's something that he can get some treatment and can come back in the field and carry on.
And the good thing about it, he's going off the field on his own power, so that is good.
So after 8 overs, the score is 40 for 2. With Seagal on 27 from 25. He's been the most outstanding batsman so far in the Samp Army team.
So
But I guess, folks, you would have wondered what was the hold up a while ago. Well, saliva was placed on the ball, and that's not allowed in cricket. So, well, of course, the rules are you can have your 3 warnings, your 2 warnings, and then the 3rd warning, you're out of the game. But in this case, they would have had to sanitize the ball and then get the play started again. So, for those viewers who was wondering what was happening there, it's just habit, a person accustomed putting the saliva on the ball. But because of COVID-19, that's not allowed anymore. That's part of the playing conditions, not allowed.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ivor, for that information. Very valid information brought through the commentary box from Ivory. There, Eddie.
Tell the organizers, Ivor, to give you a raise. You're always on the job, always up front. This one is swinging about towards long on, but wouldn't get to the boundary because the man is out there in the deep. Not very much light out there at long on. Takes the total now to some 42 for the loss of 2 wickets. And we're into the 9th over. So 1 more over to go before Mr. Ivor Henry and Watson comes a begging or comes a calling. Do you know what the players are having for lunch for dinner, Ivor Henry?
Chicken and relish, food and rice.
No shake.
Chicken and relish, food and rice.
That's a great combination. It sounds good to me.
Food and rice, chicken and relish. Have Audley Watson in the background cracking up. So 43 it is to 2. 9 overs completed at the end of it.
Very vibrant effort down there from the man who restrict them for only 2. Very good shot off the pad. Navin Stewart just straying a little bit there, Heady.
None for 7 so far from some 4 deliveries. You'll have to tidy that up. Show the captain and bring him on to leak runs. They have to be very conservative and good length and line.
50 comes up. 9.4 runs. Somerset Cavalier fielding. And they are the defending champion, as we mentioned earlier. And they're looking to go back to back. And they has the capability. They have the talent in the squad to do it. But there's a lot of different teams out here who wants to stamp their charity as well. So this is a very excited year. And it promises to be nothing but showstopper of cricket matches.
Can you tell our listeners, though, and our viewers, what is at stake for the champion?
Well, what is at stake is the US Open Championship trophy plus $100,000 for the winning team.
Oh my goodness, $100,000 US. Not Jamaican dollars, not Barbadian dollars, but US
dollars. Oh, and that's well played, very fine, and it's going to run away. 4 runs. So Navin Stewart has been taken to the sword. He's been hammered toward parts of the ground. A very good shot from the batsman, just opening the face. Down to third man, 4 runs.
So at the end of 10 overs, Samp Army is on 55. They've lost some 2 wickets. Seagal is on 32 from some 29 deliveries. Stanley is on 15 from some 80 deliveries. The partnership has really so far some 30 runs. And as I about to leave my seat, I'll bring in the most talented commentator, they say, in sunny South Florida, Ivor Henry and Aubrey Watson.
Thank you, Eddie Edwards and Lenroy White. So now it's Audley Watson and Ivor Henry in for the next 10 over. And of course, this is the trophy that is on display. The sides are playing for the T20 trophy out here. As you can see, it's now on the camera. There we go, there we go. The various winners, the very first winners from 2009. Coming up 2019, Cleveland Cavaliers won in 17, 19, and they're trying to make it 3 out of the last 4 years. A trophy on display.
So this is
That-
what they're playing for in the $100,000 tournament.
That's what's up for grabs, plus $100,000. Yeah, the tournament, they're playing for $100,000. And this one is pull away for 4 runs as the man was running behind the ball. He was sprinting like a Usain Bolt, but to no avail, just to return the ball to the keeper. So it's 61 for 2 Ivor after 10 overs and 4 balls. What do you think about the first 10 overs?
Well, we've gone past the halfway mark in terms of overs. It's a 2020 match, and 61 for just 2 wickets. I think they would have the license to go gung ho, at least from 15 overs onward. As long as they have money in the bank, you toss your hand, you can throw the dice. And lights, let's see, appeal for stumping. And we're waiting the umpire's decision. He's unmoved.
Not interested.
I think that's the end of the over, is it? Or we have another delivery to go? Well, Kunal Seagal, he is on 33 from 30. And Sanjay Stanley is on... no, he's gone. Anyway, where he put it out? 2 wickets?
We're trying to figure out what's happening here.
Well, the scoreboard has now got it that 3 wickets are down, 61 for 3. So a wicket has not fallen since we got on here, oddly, but at least the scoreboard may have corrected itself. Well, we have Wari, he been going at it, he's only human, so you have to understand it takes a lot of concentration. He's the official scorer here for the US Open. He's been for some time now, very effective. But like you said, Wari has about 3 or 4 computers around him and still has to concentrate on the main scoreboard that is lit up, looking good, oddly.
And watching for those umpires call to do everything. So it's a very hard job. And he has been doing it over the years and doing it very well.
Yeah, because he has to respond to the umpire with the flick of a light.
With the flick of a light.
Yes. So now it's 2 wickets now. So we have it now. 61 for 2. And it's 20 from 23. So a little bit of hiccup there. Maybe when he saw the lights, he thought that the batsman was out.
Yes.
But the umpire was not interested. And Audie said it earlier. The fiercest thing that a person dread in cricket is that index finger that is raised above the shoulder.
Yes. Whether you like it or not, you're on your way.
Those men in black.
That finger is very powerful, Ivor.
Yes.
When it's pointing heavenwards.
It seems to be more harmful than a sword. Because a lot of times it's like a dagger in the heart when an umpire pushed that finger up and the batsman himself thought he was undone. It was like, oh my. You thought the gallows would have just...
you know, one of the hardest thing, I'm just imagining Don Brodman right now. 299. And the man at the other end ran himself out. Can just imagine when that finger went up, how Brodman felt.
Yes.
Oh,
just
man.
that one run to get to the 300 mark.
300.
Yes. Well, 63 for 2. And... Samp Army coming up against the defending champions. but they have Fidel Edwards. He been taken to task. We saw a good pull shot, and in that over that he was bowling, he would have play would have halted because saliva was placed on the ball, and they had to sanitize the ball.
You know how it is these days. It's something that you have been accustomed to doing over the years. So sometimes habits die hard. Just relapse into the old habit.
Yes. Well, this wicket, the pitch has held up very nicely this time. Yorker length, batsman digging it out, coming down hard on it. So Navin Stewart, in his second over, one delivery to complete the second over, going just for some 14 runs in T20 cricket. That's good, useful bowling.
Yep, 7 and over.
So the last
Almost.
wicket was Chandrapal Hemwaj. He went for 2. Yes. No, not Chandrapal. Aaron Shaw. He was bowled by Chandrapal Hemwaj for 2. And this time he's swinging this one and it goes down to the cow corner area and made a valiant effort there to pull that catch in. And you know what that area reminds me of? The catch that was taken in the 2020 game by Allen. He was right in that area, and that was a gem. Well, the 50 partnership comes up. Just some 4 runs coming from that. So these two been going together for a while. 2 set batsmen are in, and over number 12 done and dusted. I think they should be looking to up the tempo because Stanley's been there for some 24 deliveries. He's on 21, and Kunal Sigal, he is on 36 from 35. So oddly, 2 set batsmen, they have to really get the wheels turning at this time to set a target in which they
Decent target, yeah.
well,
decent target.
yes.
Let me, in the meantime, run through some of the winners over the years for the U.S. Open. Washington Tigers won 2009, 2010. United Chargers, they won the title. 2011 and 12, Trinidad Cricket Legions out of Trinidad and Tobago. And the 5th Smart Choice, USA won. And US Tigers 2014, 2015. Severe weather, curtailed everything, and there was no, the tournament could not be completed, so they shared the winning purse among the teams. 2016 US All-Stars, yes, they won. 2017 Somerset Cavaliers. 2018, I need to fill that one in, to be reminded of that one. And 2019, which was last year, again, to Somerset Cavaliers. So that's why I made remarks earlier that they are trying to make it 3 out of the last 4 years this year.
Yes, in the meantime, we had some good running here, and there was an appeal for a run out, not out, said the umpire. And this time he's going aerial, and it's going to go down to the man, down on the boundary, on the long on boundary, and it goes over his head, and it's gone for a maximum 6. Only.
That ball turned the fielder into an astronomer. Just looking, just gazing at the stars, a stargazer. Well hit.
I just let the folks know that they're not hearing us on the field of play, so I don't want them to say I'm coaching the team saying they have to get the wheels turning. They must have heard me. But this time he's playing a forward defensive shot, so I guess the ball was there to be hit, and he's not going after the ball. That one, Simi could have done a little bit more with that, but nonetheless, he's still there. 73 for 2. He's walking this one off the pads into the leg. These are a sort of a middle overs, so the happy hour has not yet reached.
Should be there in the 16th over thereafter, the happy hours.
Yeah, so Godashi, Moti, he's coming up with his last delivery. I mean, walk for 6. This one is aerial over the bowler's head, and it was not well timed, but at least he got 1 for his effort.
Came down in unoccupied real estate down the bottom there.
Yes, well, one of the safest place to place a ball over the bowler's head, because no one is allowed to field behind the bowler's arms.
Exactly.
It can be moving across that side screen, so he was in no danger of getting out. So Moti, his allotted 4 overs comes to an end. Decent figures, none for 22. So at least they didn't cut him all over the park.
Went at just 5.5.
Yes,
Decent.
and the count run rate is going at 5.8. So he has kept it quite within range and below the whole team effort. So we just had that 1-6 from that over. So I think 10 coming from it. So apart from that, that was his most expensive over by the look of things.
And will there be a 50 in this innings? We're still to see a 50 so far of the 3 matches. The third one in progress. 2 prior to this match. We haven't seen a 50 as yet. We have seen 3 wickets. That was taken by Wayne Parnell. Will there be someone taking 4?
Okay, well, so far so good. But Stephen Taylor, top scorer in the day's proceedings so far, he was not out on 46. But then one would say they only had 112 to get. But nonetheless, a team win is always take precedent over your individual effort. Although your individual effort always contribute to the team overall success. So both batsmen in the 30s. Stanley is in 30. He's a non-striker. And Seagal, he's going at a runner ball, 37 from 37. I think he's set. He needs to do a little better than that at this time. So Samp Army versus Somerset Cavaliers, 75-4-2. And again, we are using the 4th wicket, the 4th pitch.
That one was hit hard. Well fielded by the fielder there, but could not prevent the single.
Well, I'll take this time to say a pleasant good evening to the president of the Umpires Association, Mr. Max Dyer. I know he's listening up. Secretary Satar, and we have Mr. David Maitland. He holds the checkbook. Yeah, he's the money man. I stay close to him. You have to stay close to the bank, you know. So we just want to say hi and hello to the Florida Umpires Association. And again, what about the cricket that's been played around here? Because of COVID, South Florida cricket has been null and void. So President Louis, you've got to get your clubs together come January or February, they're about to have some sort of cricket, because in one of the other league they're playing cricket. Their tournament is up and running.
That ball was driven down to mid-off. 1 run.
Yeah, these poles are not going to do it. Oddly, we have 3 dots already and just 2 singles. So, well, when I said it's working for the fielding team, but in terms of the batting team, they're going to have to do a little more than the poles that they're planting. They're going to need a few fences. They need a few fences. So, Samp Army,
I guess they're working to a plan, Ivor. If you have the wickets in hand, then you'll be able to go. Maybe their plans the last 4 overs or the last 5 overs, they're going to go at everything. 78 for 2 with 6 overs to go. As I say, maybe they're working to a plan. Let's see. I know otherwise the bowlers are having other plans too.
well, the bowlers are having a field day, so we have to give credit to the fielding team and captaincy. 3 dots and 3 singles. And by any standard, that is good bowling, good tactics.
And we have to give kudos to Virgil, because Virgil always reminded us that we are always saying the batting team is not doing well. And we're not commending the bowlers, and saying, look, it's the bowlers that are preventing them from doing well.
Are we speaking about Virgil Francis?
Virgil Francis.
Okay, we'll say hello to him. Well, hello, Virgil Francis. Your name been called on the TV, and we're coming to you live from the Broward County Stadium. This is the last and final match for the evening. Should be done and dusted by around, say, 8:15, 8:20, because 8:30 lights out.
And we'll be continuing here tomorrow. Another 3 games will be played tomorrow. So it's not over. You're going to join us tomorrow. I think begin 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, yes.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock start, and we'll be going through until the final ball is bowled in the third match
So Edwards is back.
from the other.
And he's coming this time from the northern end. And he's going high. He's going hard. There's a man down there trying to get onto it, but he takes it. Or did he spill it? He spilled the catch. He did all the hard work getting there. And in the end,
He had enough time, however. He camped under the ball, but then the ball went in and went out. And I was looking to the umpire to see if it went over the boundary,
No, he kept it in
but
front of him.
apparently he kept the ball in front of him.
Well, they're going after Fidel Edwards. They're targeting him. That's the man to target. It seems they just won one in the meantime, so they didn't do enough running between the sticks either. 64 is the partnership. This time again, he's playing with soft hands and he's going straight to point, and it's a misfield. And that one was touch and go. It would have been very interesting.
Would have been.
Yes, if he would have picked up and tossed it at either end, because both batsmen were stranded in the middle by the time the ball got to him. But I guess they're trying to score off every delivery from Fidel Edwards. I think that's the plan. The first one was an attacking shot. The very next ball was played straight to the man on point, and he ran to him speedily, but it took off and put the field under pressure. I guess by the time he would have heard the shout, he probably looked up to say, which end would I throw at? But if he had known better, he would have said, any end would have been the right end. Both batsmen were caught in the middle by the time the ball got to him. But all is well that ends well. 65 partnership into over number 15. This time again, playing with soft hands, going out to sweep a cover. They're looking for two. It's not going to be.
That would be suicidal.
But of course.
Again, Fidel Edwards, he's one of those impressive international players that have played for their country, of course, and is participating in this MAQ T20 US Open for 2020, the 12th edition. Fidel Edwards, now 38 years old. He has played 55 test matches, 50 ODIs, and 20 T20s for the West Indies. So combined, he has played over 100 times for the West Indies. 125 times represented the West Indies. So he has got a whole lot of experience, and he's been targeted.
Yes, another one down to third man. Steered intentionally. And like I said, it's been a long time since the last wicket of Shaw would have fallen. And Chandrapal Hemwaj, he was the one credited with that wicket, and he needed no assistance from anyone. He was bowled neck and crop, lights, camera, action.
And Ivor, we're having a conversation about the height of Fidel Edwards. He's noted he has 5'5", and you're saying he looks a bit taller. And we have seen players who they have noted as 6'4", who I think not more than 6'1" or 6'2". So I guess they just print what they're given.
Yes, well, Fidel Edwards, they've scored from every delivery so far. 5 singles have been placed in the book. So let's see if he can get a dot in. But nonetheless, it's still a good over. Over number 16, this is his third. So he has not been carted across the boundary ropes. His first 2 spell, he was carted from the southern end here, from the commentary box end. But he's keeping things in check. Partnership again of 68. I think one of these guys have got to go. 42 from 42 is Kunal Sigal. And Stanley is on 33 from 34. And this time it's in the air and away from the man in the fly step. Ball is going to get stopped just 4 meters inside of the boundary rope. In the meantime, the batsman was looking for free. He would have been suicidal. Got 2.
I think they have robbed themselves of a single, Ivor. They continue to run and look at the ball while the ball is going away from the fielder. Instead of making it 2 and run for the 3, they were just gazing at the man. So in actual fact, they deprived themselves of an extra run.
Yes, well, the batter that is facing the ball, that's the one who should be looking at the ball. You should never be looking back. You're taking momentum away from your strides.
Yep.
So when you meet in the middle, someplace you whisper and say 2 or 3 or what have you. No, but you don't want to alert the fielders really. but you can make a good eye contact, nod of the head when you're crossing. Let's go, free. But once you look, if both guys are looking at the ball at the same time, somebody is doing something wrong. Anyway, 35 from 35 for Stanley, 42 from 42 for Seagull. So it's a runner ball. Somebody's got to go a little harder than that. They have wickets in the tank. We have a lot of gas in the tank. They're going at 5.7. They need to go about 8. They need to get that, make it interesting. Here's an aggressive shot going down to the deep mid-wicket area. One bounce. It was a flat batted shot. And all they can get for the effort is just one. So we're into over number 16. Sweet 16, that is. And again, we're on the lights here, so if you're just waking up and you're listening to cricket, it's coming to you from the Broward County Stadium here in South Florida in the United States of America. And we are coming to you live from the beautiful city of
Lauderhill.
I want to say good evening again to Mr. Virgil Francis. This is his city. He's the mayor, unofficial mayor.
Right back over the head of the bowler. Will it beat them to the boundary? Let's wait on the signal of the umpire.
4 runs.
4 runs.
Yes. Philip below us here made a good effort there. He slid, but he made an effort to stop it, but he and both ball went across the boundary rope. And by virtue of cricketing rules, that is going to be 4. You were touching the rope when the ball would have been touching some part of your body. It's 4. This time he's playing a swat shot down again to the deep mid-wicket area. They're looking for 2, but he's not going to be on.
So far in this over. Partnership of 7-7 so far in this over. 1, 1, 4, and 1.
7 runs total. So at least a boundary has been had in this one. Fidel Edwards did well for himself. He gave up a double off the last deliveries. So some 7 runs coming from that over. So with balls to spare, we've already got 7. This time he's going after him off the legs and goes down to the deep backward square leg for a single. Again, at this time, the party should be on from the 16th over with only 2 wickets down. Ball should be flying out of the park at this time. These are 2 set batsmen. One's on 48. That is Kunal Seagal from 45 deliveries. And Stanley is on 37. I guess he's going to what? Wait for his
100
50?
strike rate, 37 from 37.
And folks, sorry, we have an empty stadium because of the COVID and
protocols.
the CDC, protocol that have to be followed. Temperatures checked coming on in, wearing your mask in all of the areas that are required for masks.
Lysolize and sanitize.
And this one is going aerial, in the air. The safest place I said to be hitting the ball, and it goes all the way over the boundary board. I'm going to ask Mr. Roddy, the official scorer, to put half a dozen for that batsman. And he goes to 50. With that, he goes on to 54. Well played.
First 50 for this tournament for 2020. First 50. All right, Seagal.
So noted, Seagal, you have placed the first 50 in this, the 12th edition of the US Open. And still going. And he's done that in 46 balls.
So now they start to up the ante.
And he's swinging this one down to deep backward square leg. There's a man down there, and he can only get 1 for his effort. So he's pulled out the boom. He's doing some house cleaning there, oddly. Doing some sweeping. So let's see who's going to be the dusting. In the meantime, the 100 comes up. 101 Dalmatian. Who let the dogs out? 101 Dalmatian. 101 for 2, oddly.
So it's 16 at the end of 16. 101 for 2. Yes. So we have 24 balls, 24 legal deliveries to go, and they should be looking for anywhere in the 150, 160s with 2 set batsmen. Maybe we could even get in the 170s.
And there was a no ball, and the reward from the no ball was the 6 runs, oddly.
Well, that's a very good use, the best use of a no ball.
Yes, so they've upped the ante some. They've gone now to 6.3 runs and over, and they need to improve on that with just some 4 more overs left in this innings. It's been a long time since the last wicket would have fell. Some 86 runs ago. So this partnership, the biggest of the tournament so far.
Biggest of the
86.
tournament, yeah.
Yes. That's Audie you're seeing on view there. Audie Watson, commentator.
So it's Samp Army versus Somerset Cavaliers.
Fidel Edwards is going to be coming in to bowl his last over. I guess they couldn't leave him to close the inning because they've been going after him. And now with two very well set batsmen, I think they might continue. Oh, outside the off stump, that has got to be a wide. Yes, it is. Yes.
Exercise time for the umpire.
Yes, he spreads his arm at eagle. You think one of these days when the umpires keep spreading their arms, they would fly, oddly? Well, 87. They said that's the Australian bad-looking number, but they say he'd rather to have 87 than just 13 away from the century.
Anytime of the day.
Anytime, I'll take 87. Well played. Fidel Edwards outside the off stump, but that one is, I think,
let's wait on the
it
umpire.
was dropped. But it was a good effort by the wicket keeper, trust me, because
Yes.
see where the wicket keeper is, he's between second and third slip. Fidel Edwards, threw his hands in the air to say they've been whacking me and whacking my ball all over the park. Get me in the wicket column. I don't care what it took, but that guy was way out between second and third slip. So I can tell you,
Had he not played out the ball, it would be a wide, I think.
yes,
Would
he
be a
was.
wide.
Yes, he was outside. The stumps are lighting up. Okay, because the flow came in, I think, and
Yeah,
It's
broke the
not
stumps, yes.
yes, okay. 103 for 2, 37 from 37 Stanley. Seagal, he is on 56. So let's see Stanley going to try to get to 50. Can we get 250 in the same inning? He's going inside out and he's splitting two men down there. Let's see. No, it was not good enough to reach the ropes. It was good enough to earn him a single. 89 partnership. We're inching towards the 100 partnership. 11 away from that. The overall score 104.42. Run rate 6.4.
And I must say we are under beautiful skies here. At the moment, beautiful skies. Ideal for cricket. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be having more of the same. Where the
Outside
weather
off
is
stump and
concerned.
he's opening his arms, but he's not timing it as well as he would have liked. But he's gonna get a deuce.
Well, at least they are much more busier than they were a couple overs back. And because we're in the final 4 overs.
Yes, like
And,
the happy
yeah.
hour is on. Yes,
They're getting busy.
Seagal,
Not fully there, but they're getting there.
Well, Seagal should be able to take some more chances. He's on 58, and like we say back in the islands, he should be seeing the ball as big as a proverbial breadfruit.
Breadfruit or coconut.
Or bigger than that. No ball, and Fidel Edwards guilty of probably overstepping, maybe the front foot. So there goes the signal there from the umpire now, and he's going to make a swirl around his head.
Free hit.
So it's a free hit, but they got one for that. So the fielders can change by competition rules.
Because it's not the same.
Not the same
Not the
batter.
same batsman.
So many things has changed in cricket. Not the same batter. You don't say batsman anymore, oddly, right?
But what I cannot understand, I mean, they are playing while they were playing the Big Bash ladies tournament in Australia. Just some of the common cricket writers are still saying man of the match. Come on, ladies are playing. How can you have man of the match in a ladies match? Player of the match. It should be universal. POM instead of MOM. Player of the match.
Having heard oddly, they would address that, and I'm sure they would correct it because you have a voice, and you are the voice of reason.
Oh no, just one of the voices that's saying, hey, that's not right.
Good comeback there with the free hit. It was right up slow, took the pace off of that Fidel Edwards and put it in the block hole. You see, if I were playing test matches and I was Fidel Edwards and I was the batsman, You know, back in the day when umpires used to wear a white shirt and a black tie, I'm going to tell the umpire, that man coming with that slinging round arm action, the ball is coming out of your tie. I can't see it. I need a white scoreboard. Malinga would have said the same thing too. I would use that as an excuse. I'll walk away and I think that they're going to hit my stump and say, no, his arm was coming out of your tie.
No, remember, Dean Jones tried to throw Curtly Ambrose off with the armband. He was wearing the armband and said, no, you need to remove that armband.
But if some wearing it, yes, you have to take it off. Yes, I agree with that. But like I said, with this guy so pacey, Fidel Edwards, he was a terror. You remember how we got into West Indies team?
Yes.
Just practicing in the nets and Laos. This guy saying, listen, come, you don't have to go play for no Barbados. You don't have to play anything. You're West Indian. You're qualified. Selectors, I need this guy. And that guy has a lot of fifers in Test cricket.
Yes, if you got it, you just got it.
Yes. Came with a slinging action.
Malinga-like.
Yes.
Action.
What you see is coming right out of the tie, outside the off stump. Umpire's not interested in making him to reload and come again. So he has ended his spell and he has gone for some 34 runs, Fidel Edwards. And he did not even get an appeal.
But by the way, eventually Curtly Ambrose had to remove the armband. And he did terrorize Dean Jones, but in the end, he did not get his wicket. But he did terrorize him after that.
But it's just fair play. And remember, the laws of cricket gives the umpire, if it's one thing, he said, listen, you are the sole judge of fair and unfair play. So if that is not fair, the umpire is going to say, no, that can't be fair. I think that request is valid. Mr. Ambrose, could you please kindly move that red armband? A red ball is coming out of your bowling arm. The batsman feels like, well, he's seeing doubles, he's seeing two reds. I am going to ask you now to remove those headbands, those handbands. Quite rightly so.
From Mr. Ivor Henry, the authority, he's a qualified umpire.
I dream, sleep, play cricket, are they?
When we're having.
But now I just play the fool.
When we're having dispute on our program, the cricket show on Sundays, we always say, okay, bring in the umpire. Let's hear what the rules are. Referring to Ivor.
You know, I would always give it my best shot. But remember, I'm not going to always know everything, but at least if I don't have an answer, I'll try to seek some places where I can get the answer.
Yes.
But I'm going to say like my dad. One time Eddie told me, he said, Ivor, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Well, in the meantime, 4 runs here going down to the third man. I'm very fortuitous because he came off the outside edge. There is no fine third man. No slips, of course, not at this juncture of the game. 113 it is for the loss of some 2 wickets. And again, RDM saying there is wickets in the hut. And they've got to take some chances now. The individual scores.
It's now or never. It's now or never.
You're into over number 18. You've got to blind swipe if he takes that.
8 wickets in hand.
But I guess there's not this type of batsman who can just throw caution to the wind. I think.
Oh, close up. Made it.
Yeah, better throw would have been interesting. But good running in the end. 18 overs. I'm going to give way to Mr. Edwards, as I'm going to put on another hat now to see if I can find someone who I can get a chit-chat to who would have performed. And I know one of them is Mr. Seagal. He is on 59 top score so far. I may very well have to have a short word with Mr. Stanley. We may very well see 250s in the same game this evening. Sanitize and lights the lives.
Yes, now they are getting busy. And it's just about time. With only 15 legal deliveries left in this innings. They are 116 for 2. They are still looking for about another 30, I think another 30, 35 runs to be in a position to say, I think that's defendable. That is totally defendable. Yes, and this one gonna be interesting. See if it's taken. No, it's in and out down deep mid wicket. But the fielder ran around, got to the ball, but could not hang on as he went down. So one catch went a begging, difficult as you may say, but now it's 118 for 2. And Mr. Eddie Edwards is right here with us.
Looks like
This
Havertz
time.
Stewart, none for 25, and he's in his third over. So very expensive. The all-rounder from Trinidad and Tobago continues to try to get a wicket or two in this dying stages. 17.5 overs gone. Or do you think that they'll reach a score of 130
Looking for 140.
with just about 2 overs left?
If they want to have anything looking competitive. As a matter of fact, the third wicket went down while we're
Making
talking
a
here.
point.
Yes, making a point. So it is a Seagull, not Seagull or Stanley.
Stanley or Seagull.
In a moment, we will be brought up to date.
Just waiting our devoted scorer.
Yeah, so someone went after, I think it was immediately just after the first catch went down, and there was an attempt to hit the ball over the boundary because it's happy hour, and he was caught down on the long on, in the long on area.
Was he caught eating a snack or something? Due to the fact that it was happy hour?
It could be.
That's what I thought. So the over comes to an end. And Neville Stewart finally gets a wicket. 1 for 26 from some 3 overs. The new batsman is Balisetti. So Stanley is on 47 from some 43. And Seagal was the man that went in the over there from Navin Stewart.
And Stanley is on the brink of the second 50 in this innings in the match. Here.
So I were
So it's 119 for 3 with 12 legal deliveries to go. So I'm saying Eddie is going to be in the 140s, somewhere in the 140s.
you saying that? Are you sure about that? You assuming that?
Well, you're never
guessing
sure.
that?
You're never sure about hardly anything. There are a few things that we can be absolutely sure about.
I don't want to go there.
Swing and a miss, outside the off stump through to the keeper.
So Saeed Najaf Shah comes back into the attack from the northern end. The captain himself looking to button down the hatch in the last 2 overs. The last wicket fell. Seagull caught Gudakesh Marty Bonavin Stewart for 61. So that was a good catch by Gudakesh. So gone hard, high, and long, and it has gone for 6. Good looking shot.
Yes, Eddie. Knowing that it's do or die now, we need to get some runs on the board, some more runs on the board.
So that brings up the 54 Stanley, and they're not dying, certainly. We can see that. They're doing well, especially young Stanley.
They are not going away quietly, so to speak.
They're not. They reminds me of my friend there up in Washington. 125 for 3. Stanley's on 53 from 45. Peels off the outer portion of the bat. Let's see what happens.
They stayed at home.
Well, they actually get a single, so Stanley goes up by 1 to some 54. Waiting on my score, 54 from 45. Gupta is yet to score. Najib Shah, none for 15. And he is in his third over. Beaten outside the line of the off stump. Delivery kept a bit low.
Might have thought that that Nader Shaw would have bowled his complements of 4 overs. I'm surprised. He's only bowling 3.
I'm a bit surprised as well when I looked at this scoreboard and I saw none for 15 from 2.3. I was a bit taken aback, but let's see what happens in the end. Turns in the distance. Young Najib Shah. So Gupta is beaten outside the line of the off stump.
And now at the death, that's where you want to feed the batsmen. Just about outside, you don't want to give them enough room to free their arms to put you over the boundary. So they're doing exactly what they ought to be doing, Eddie. Navin Shaw, that make it more surprising that he only bowled 3 overs.
Yes, indeed. So there was a little bit of conference between batters. They met in the middle. Whatever they would have discussed. Let's see if it worked.
Not a good delivery. Just outside the off stump. Not far enough to be wide. The batsman swing but just cannot catch up with the ball. So it's 126 for 3 at the end of 19. 126 for 3.
So I don't know if your total that you suggested of 140 still stands. You want to make an adjustment now? Audley Watson, you want to make an adjustment?
No,
or
I'm
going
not.
to keep going with the 140?
No, I'm not. If I lose, I lose. I mean, it's just a projection.
A little man out of Jamaica with a lot of pride.
A lot of time you find they have the projected scores and they have to keep adjusting accordingly. So that's what I'm doing. I will do if it happens.
So it's going to be Navin Stewart. The very experienced Navin Stewart. That one is played down too wide. Mid-wicket. The man coming off the boundary. Rifles the return in. Stump is broken at the striker's end. There's a little appeal. Let's see what the square leg umpire does. Not outside the square leg umpire. So Navin Stewart has taken 1 for 28 so far, and he is in his final over. 3.1 overs bowled by Navin Stewart, the talented all-rounder from Trinidad and Tobago.
Indeed, and he's one of those that is showcasing his talent right here on the MAQ T20 US Open. And again, we can't say enough about Mr. Mark Qureshi and putting on the US, not just the US Open, when it comes to cricket overall right here in the United States. And we have often heard the slang, hey, you need to put your money where your mouth there. Meaning, just put your money where your mouth is. And he is one of those that you could never say that to.
And I'll tell you something. I heard someone saying the other day that in Trinidad they call him Mac Daddy.
Indeed. I mean, that could be his new name right here. Mac Daddy.
Yeah,
I think he would love that one. I have to ask.
Well, Mac, he wouldn't upset about that. So 19.2 gone. 129 for 3 Audley. And it's getting closer. It's 130.
It's right.
So what? Some 10 runs away from your projected score.
And look at the 6
with 3 legal deliveries left.
Just look at the 6 now.
You're getting closer, Audley. Continue.
As I was saying, no.
So they get a single, takes the total now to 131. So Samp Army, they're marching like the military personnel that you expect them to be. Samp Army, they're marching on. They're marching on. And do you think they're going to march on to victory, Audley?
With the bowlers, it's going to be left to the bowlers and the fielders to do that. And we saw in the previous game with all the big stars, Chris Gayle and rest, that they won. Not that I think they were in danger of losing the match, but you know, it was quite interesting, right down to the wire, winning with just one ball to spare. When we're looking for them to knock off that total with maybe 8 overs to spare. But it came right down to just 1 over. It's the game of cricket.
And that's why they keep on saying that it is a game of glorious uncertainties. And in T20, particularly in this kind of competition here, you know that bowlers are going to try and bowl extremely tight as opposed to, let's say, 1 days or 50 over match.
It's the final over, and so far only 6 runs have been taken from the final over.
So Nevin Stewart is keeping it interesting. He has bowled some 3.5 overs, and he has taken 1 for 32.
Final ball. Stump is lifted up, and the umpire.
Is he raising that dreaded index finger?
Yes, I think he did. Legs.
He's run out from
Umpire from leg side, square leg.
the
Yes.
square leg umpire, raised that index finger. So total is 132. So which means they would have to get 133 for victory. If my score is correct.
134. They made 1 run before and they were returning for the second, I think.
So let's see what.
So it's 133. So 134 will be required by the Somerset Cavaliers, and it should be a small thing of a walk in the park, but nothing sometimes turns out the way that you're anticipating.
Well, we start with an extra down the leg side, wayward, and we're trying to get to 134. Where is it? That's the target, 134. The required run rate at the beginning is going to be 6.7.
And you see the intention of Kenar Lewis from the get-go.
And this time he's going aerial, and he's going beyond the boundary rope for the first maximum. It's a 6, noted in the scorer's book.
Very good shot from Kenar Lewis, over mid-wicket. Excellent timing. And as you know, Kenar Lewis is not the type of player who's going to sit around and not play his shot. We know what he's capable of doing, and he's executing that to perfection. He said it, and he delivers. Lewis.
So Kime on strike, first legal delivery, whacked it out of the park. So trying to make easy work of the 134 that is required. So we have Alimram, the bowler. He's opening the proceedings here, and Hemward, Chandra Paul Hemward, he's accompanying Mr. Kenar Lewis. So much is expected.
Yes, they've been batting throughout numerous tournaments together, these two, and they've got remarkable accomplishment in their doing. Imran Chandapal and Kenar Lewis, 2 very explosive player, and they need to just keep momentum going. We know them to be very attacking players, and I tell you what, these 2 players are not gonna play shy cricket tonight. They're gonna go and play what needs to be done tonight.
Okay, so Somerset Cavaliers, they're trying to overhaul 134 that is required for victory, and they've started well. They've started already just 2 deliveries and down to 7. The ending is what is going to bring the result. earlier in the inning, we would have seen 2 half centuries. The first of this tournament, and it was over 100 partnership between those two out of the 133 that was made. So we started with a wide and 6, single and a dot. So Chandra Paul Hemorrhage is yet to score. This one tucked him up into the onside, and a dot goes into the scorer's book.
And these two batsmen, Ivory, they're very confident batsmen. You know, they like to play shots, and that's what people want to see in these formats of the game. They want to see excited T20 cricket, and these two batsmen, they should deliver tonight. Because,
well, we'll watch, we'll wait, and we'll see. This time down the leg side, wayward delivery, outstretched arms of the umpire. Signals are wide. He has to reload. He has to come again. Score advanced by 1. Goes on to 9 for no loss. Chandra Paul Hemorrhage, he's yet to score. But Kemal Lewis opened his innings with a maximum 6.
we have not seen a change in terms of the direction, in terms of pace bowling and the spinners. Exactly what our previous commentator were discussing earlier.
And this one he's getting off the mark, and he's going to get 4 for it. So Hemorrhage is off the mark with a boundary also. He went along the ground. He didn't go the aerial route to get off the mark with a 6. But nonetheless, he's off the mark. And an expensive over in progress. 2 wides in it already. 6 and a boundary.
Very good shot from Shandapal Imraj. Foot to the pitch of the ball and just glancing it back down the track over the bowler, over long off for 4 runs. Very good shot.
Well, already a partnership of 13, so some 13 ones already. This time he's playing inside out. That's a beautiful shot. He doesn't even bother to move. He knew it was 4 from the time he left the bat, and that's an authoritative shot.
Absolutely magnificent shot. Foot to the pitch, inside out, over extra cover, clinical shot.
Yes, so 17 coming from that first over. So I wouldn't want to say it's like meat and drink for these 2 batters, but that was just the first over. We'll see what's going to be on offer from the northern end, but that's a brisk start. 17 for no loss. A
tremendous start, and it's just the nature of these 2 batsmen, Ivory. This is the way they play cricket. They like to go for explosive shot earlier, and I tell you what, these 2 batsmen, they're going to take full advantage of the power play, and as we have seen them throughout numerous US Open tournaments before this, and the US different leagues in New York and different parts around the world, they're very destructive batsmen.
Yes, well, we are on the lights here at the stadium, and this is the last match of today's proceedings. We would have had 2 matches done and dusted. We're halfway into this one, and by the look of things, this might not very well go to 20 overs. But for those viewers, stick and stay. We'll be here for the duration, however long it lasts, whether it's 20 overs or 10 overs, but they're off in a hurry. They're going as if they're on a freight train.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of the game. How these batsmen can be very explosive, and you know what, the bowlers need to do their job in terms of containing the batsman. We know that these two opening batsmen, they like to play shot, but what you're going to do as a bowler, you need to focus on your line, your length, and get things right and put the batsman under pressure.
Well, the wicket is not pacey, and the batsmen now, they themselves have got to generate some pace to get the ball off the square. But already Southpaw is coming in. Last time he's playing one in front of him. A dot goes into the book. So at least a good start from the young man. That's Jelani. So he starts with a dot.
Yeah, very good delivery. Just pitched about leg stump, swinging away from Lewis. Lewis didn't make contact onto it. The score's on to 17 without loss.
Yes, Lewis is a hard-hitting batsman. I saw him practicing at the MAQ ground there on Sunday. And he was look at this, a flick of the wrist. And away she goes. Down into the deep mid-wicket boundary for 4. Fielder there, number 7, sporting the number 7 on his back. He made a gallant effort to to restrict the batsman, but it was all in vain.
Yes, very good shot. Just a flick of the wrist. Timing was up to perfection, and that's just the power of Kinar Lewis. He can hit a long ball, but that's just clinical, out of his pad with the wrist, a flick down to a mid-wicket region for 4.
And that was a proper cricketing shot. He goes into double figures. He's on 11. He waits, and this time he's guiding this one out into the offside. And a little bit of fumble out there, and it's eluded the fielder and goes into the boundary for yet another boundary.
And if you look the way he just time it, he just place it just with the wrist, no muscle with the shot whatsoever. Clinical. And we were talking about him earlier about the CPL. I think he was missed tremendously this season, the CPL, because he's that sort of player who likes to play aggressively and he likes to get the game on the way. And he's showing that tonight. He's showing his class and his attribute to the game of cricket.
Well, with quarter of a century, his total is down to 25. He is on to 15, Lewis it is, and they have just received some 6 deliveries. And Chandrapal Hemwaj, he's there on 8 keeping company. He's only had some 4 deliveries. So a partnership quick and in a hurry has gone on to 25.
I think these two are probably two of the best opening pairs in this tournament that I've seen all day. Great work from the man at shortish mid-wicket, restricting the batsman from getting a single.
And you can see the disgust in Lewis's as he tried to rehearse the previous delivery, saying that should have been flicked away also for another boundary. Oh, he's going aerial. He's going towards a man stationed in the long on boundary, but he just looked up to watch the ball just sail over his head. He just timed that ever so sweetly, as if to say, the ball is on a string, I'm just going to hit it out.
Absolutely magnificent, effortless. He went through the shot. It wasn't 100% there to go for, but he went through it, the one-handed shot over long on. Very good shot from Lewis. Very effortless and very good timing. That's just the quality of the man. Really good player.
Yeah, it was not a bad delivery. The ball was hit on the up and quick and fast, and in a hurry they've gone to 31, and of course a partnership of 31. Lewis himself has relished looking at 21. He's all of a man's age now, 21, and just received some 8 deliveries. So we had started with a dot, and we were excited to see that dot, but then we had consecutive boundaries, and then we had 2 dots, and the last delivery was over the boundary ropes for 6. So that's how that over went. So now 103 is required from 108 balls. Would that be considered a hard equation?
No, pretty much just icing on the cake, I would say. Pretty much. Pretty easy to accomplish. And I'm very disappointed when it comes on to Lewis. I piggyback on the topic. I think he needs to be somewhere in the West Indies plan in terms of one-day cricket, T20, or even Test cricket for someone. He's a very elegant player, very stylish, and I think the West Indies selectors need to look into this man potential and his talent and give him the opportunity to showcase what he's made of, because I think he has what it takes, the potential and the attitude, and he's a well-polished cricketer.
Well, he has got to, and this one is outside the off-stump wayward delivery, called wide there by the umpire. So the wheels are coming off early. It seems they've got to regroup and settle down. It's a young team, the Samp Army, pretty young, and they've been pressured here by these 2 opening batsmen, 2 experienced opening batsmen.
And I've watched these 2 opening pair. They have demolished numerous bowling attack.
This time he's opening his arms and he's playing one into the onside. Long on fielder moves to his left, picks up, rifles a throw to the bowler's end, and a single. 101 to win from 107 deliveries. Would they need all of that? We will watch, we will wait, and we shall see.
Well, my analysis, I must say, I'm gonna put it to 15 overs, 16 overs, somewhere about. If Lewis backed until 9 or 10 over, I could see this game finishing at 14 or 15.
Okay, we'll be here, and we want to welcome all the viewers who are onto the MAQ TV.com. Spread the word. TV is coming to you live from the Central Regional Stadium. Leg by goes into the scorer's book, so extras getting up there. Lewis 21, Hemorrhage 9, Partnership 34.
They're going tremendously at 14.6 runs and over, which is really decent in T20 format. And they haven't been playing any reckless shot. They're playing proper cricket shot so far, and they're just, keeping that momentum and keep the score rotating.
This one's a flick of the wrist, and he doesn't even move. So every time Mr. Hemwood scores boundaries, he just stands, delivers, and poses for the camera.
Absolutely, and that shows confidence, and that shows class, and that's what these two batsmen, we speak so highly of these two batsmen tonight, because guess what, it's right, they've been playing absolutely magnificent cricket throughout the tournament and other tournaments here in America. So they've been doing absolutely amazing.
Okay, well, it's on to 38 for no loss. And like I said, by far and away, the most aggressive opening stand so far in today's proceedings. This time he's going big. He's going far and beyond the boundary ropes. He's too getting into the act of hitting sixes. So Hemwich, the little man, has gone aerial. He has gone up to 19 quick, fast, and in a hurry. Score goes on to 44 for no loss.
Absolutely beautiful shot. Bar was there for that shot. He just stood there getting the right position, and over mid wicket she goes, about 15 rows back. Very good shot, and not a slug. Decent cricket shot, these two players.
No, that's proper cricketing shot. Just a flick of the wrist and away she goes.
Absolutely, they're in a hurry to finish this game. Party's on tonight.
Well, it better be at the hotel. And he's going again, inside out, but he's not getting enough of this. But he would have gone over the 30-yard circle, but it was not enough to get down to the man station in the long off position. So a foul shot, but nonetheless, he lives to fight another day. He goes up quickly into the 20s, joining Lewis, who is on 21.
These two batsmen going over 200 strike rate at the minute. Really, really good stuff.
Yes, 45 for no loss. And remember, they're chasing a target of 134. They're not making heavy weather of this at all. They're making light work of it.
And that's what you need to do. You're a confident player. That's all you need to play. Just keep that going, keep that energy, and keep fighting.
Going to get some overthrows here. No, both batters would have gone beyond the sticks, trying to make good their ground. So ball was tried to the wicket and it was overthrown. No one was backing up. But that over comes to an end. Over number 3, it's all of 46 for no loss. My word.
Very good stuff, Ivory. Your assessment of the pitch so far, you think it's going to remain throughout the tournament a low scoring equation, 130, 140, in terms of what you have seen? Or you think the wicket might dry out a little bit more tomorrow, being the fact the covers has been on there for a while, and still some juice, some mice underneath there? You think tomorrow it might dry out a little bit more, and you might see a little bit more action from the fast bowlers? Yes,
from my experience, it's going to harden as the game proceeds. As soon as the proceeds are happening, we have pitch number 4. That's what we're playing on. But you can see pitch number 3 has been prepared. So I'm not sure if they're going to be playing on pitch number 3 tomorrow. But I can tell you, with all the rains that would have fell on these pitches, this is the cause for the slowness of the pitch. But with the sun coming out, wind, no more rain, I can tell you, this wicket will level out and it will become a batting paradise.
Absolutely. And if there's no deterioration in the pitch in terms of you getting lots of cracks and stuff like that in the track, there's no need to probably go to wicket number 3. It's a decent wicket. We have played on this track for 5-6 days tournament, and it's a remarkable track here. I must give credit to the grounds official, the tremendous job that they've been doing throughout the years.
Well, the ICC tournament was played earlier this year before the pandemic, and all the matches were played on this pitch number 4, all of it. And as a matter of fact, the cricketers were the ones who were asking to play on the same pitch. This time he's going in the air, and again he's not going to move.
My word.
Just another flick of the wrist, and he goes for 6, and the 50 comes up on the board, quick, fast, and in a hurry. 52 it is. Lewis goes on to 28.
Well, my initial thought that I was going to probably get 1 or 2 bounce into the boundary, but my word, I was surprised the way it just carried all the way. Just clinical timing. Lewis, absolutely a terrific cricketer.
And he goes inside out into the offside, and the result?
1 bounce.
1 bounce. 1 bounce 4. So they're taking advantage of the power play, where the power play is up to 6 overs before they can put more than 2 fielders outside of the 30-yard circle. And these guys are really going gung-ho. It's the best partnership so far, opening partnership of the day's proceedings.
Absolutely, going over 16 runs and over. Really great going from these two. And the captain needs to get the breakthrough. He needs to turn to his strike bowler and set a plan and execute, because it's just going away from them at the minute. They need to get back in the game, get a wicket or 2.
Well, they're trying, because the spin is on now, and he whacked one down the ground, and it's going to go for 4. And he didn't really get a hold of it, but he tugged it from outside the off stump into the onside. And like I said, the men are up in the circle. The 2 men who are out would be one in the long off position, and I'm not seeing the
deep cover.
And the deep cover. So both men in the offside. Yes.
I had a discussion with Kenar Lewis a few weeks ago, leading up to the tournament. I said, just keep doing what you're doing, because I know in a few months you're going to be one of the big thing of West Indies cricket. And he said, you know what, lad, I've been working super hard, and once that comes, I'm gonna grab it with both hands. And I think he really deserved that opportunity.
Okay, well, he has to go and perform in the West Indies for a team. Does he play for a team in the West Indies?
Well, he plays for Jamaica national team. So, but I haven't seen him.
Or the white ball cricket?
The white ball cricket.
Okay, well, he looks good here, and this time he's flicking this one over the extra cover field, but there's coverage down the long off position, so he can only get 1 for his effort. And again, that one came out of the middle of the bat, but it was well placed. He measured the wide mid off, and I guess he's farming the strike, because Hemwaj didn't get a single ball in that over. 61 it is for no loss. So we had all boundaries for the first 3 deliveries, 6-4-4, and then he came back well to finish well with 2 dots and a single of the last ball. So many times that's what fools the captain into bringing back the bowlers, because they remember the last few deliveries and they say, okay, you finished well. And then the batter might very well come back and pounce on him for the first 3 deliveries, and then forget about that and come back and finish well. All this time they're scoring at 10, 16 runs and over.
Absolutely. And it seems like you're going to have another bowling change, and I'm not seeing...
So who are you expecting? Change of bat. So I don't know what's wrong with the... No, change of bat. Change of hat.
Yeah, it's going to be spin, so you need not to keep the helmet on probably, but I bat with my helmet for spinner pace, because once you have gotten hit and gotten a broken jawbone when it comes on to that, you're going to be protective of yourself. I don't take that risk anymore.
Yeah, well, like we said, Samp Army, it's a pretty young team, a bunch of youngsters. If the camera could have turned on 1 or 2 of them down beneath us here, you see.
Yeah, that couldn't be more than 13 or 14.
Oh, this is a big shot over cow corner, all the way for 4.
6.
All the way for 6, I beg your pardon. All the way. And Keena Lewis, he's not making joke. You think he's trying to get a flight to go back to Jamaica quick and fast and in a hurry?
Possibility to go back to Jamaica tonight and get back to Florida. So he's in a rush to get the game out the way.
Well, he's going to be, if he makes it to 50, he's going to be the quickest 50 of the tournament. So both batters were just into the 20s. And now he has gone double that. He's gone bigger.
Oh, my word.
My word. Another half a dozen. And the spectators were in the stands. They will have been jumping. So that takes him on to 49 from 18 deliveries. I wonder if he's trying to get out the park right on time. Did someone say we have to leave the park quick, fast, and in a hurry?
Well, he's in no joke at the minute, and that's just to show the man class, the way he plays. A magnificent shot. Young, inexperienced team. They're trying to get things right, but Kenar Lewis and Imraj not giving them an opportunity to breathe. They're just playing explosive cricket, proper cricket shots to all sorts of the park. Beautiful stuff, wonderful cricket, excited to watch.
Yes, well, Kenar Lewis, he's on 49. I don't think he's going to take his time to say, let me just play for the single. If it comes to whack, well, he's going to take it out of the park. Fielders are going everywhere now. They're going left, right, in, out, but they're still within the power play. So only
2 is allowed.
Only 2 is allowed beyond the 30-yard circle. As a matter of fact, no more than 2.
And those 2, they got long on in the deep mid-wicket.
And this time, he just choked it down back past the bowler to his left and to the right of the mid-off fielder. And for just a 4, and that brings up his 50. Easy peasy.
Very, very good knock. A very, very good knock from Lewis. 53 from 19. Very fast and very timely, effective as well. The way he's conducting in his innings. Shandapal Imraj as well. Looking really good. In really good touch, the Ivory.
Yes, well, Hemwedge has become a spectator to Lewis's batting. And like we said, we cannot fault the pitch for anything because you're not scoring this quickly on a pitch that you're telling me is slow and outside the off stump, and he's cutting. And let's say there's a man giving chase, but only to retrieve beyond the boundary ropes. Yet another boundary. 81 for no loss. Lewis is on 57. He has just received some 20 deliveries, and what a show this young man is putting on here. Quite a display and a way of shots.
Absolutely, off the chain. With the start of the pandemic, I watched Andre Russell, Kenar Lewis, and Jermaine Blackwood. They all were training together, and I tell you what, they put in a lot of work into their development. If you look at Blackwood, the way he is mature over the last couple of months and bringing that momentum into the West Indies Test team, scoring centuries, half centuries. It just goes to show if you put the work in, you can be successful. And Andre Russell as well, he has done that significantly.
Well, a moral victory with the previous delivery when a dot went into the scorer's book, but we have a misfield here, and that ball ran to the boundary for yet another boundary. So we have some 24 runs coming from that over. Just that one dot that was played to Lewis. So this time, Hemwedge will get a chance to face the first delivery of the 6th over, which is going to be in progress shortly.
Well, finally, it's about time he stopped being a spectator and get a knock. Lewis taking the party to the Samp Army team, really attacking cricket, and I've yet to see a loose cricket shot from either of these 2 batsmen. It's been proper cricket shot, youngster at home watching the game. This is the way you go about constructing an innings and playing proper cricket shot, playing each ball in each merit, not going across the line. And I think that's some tremendous work from these 2 players. Great example for these youngsters watching on MAQ TV or wherever you're at in the world. Take example, take notes.
Well, they've been going at a current run rate of 17. The required run rate is 3.3. You think that's too much to be had? What do you think?
I'm thinking
Yeah, well, don't think too hard.
It's a big equation.
It's a big equation. I'm telling you, they're making it easy, man. Easy peasy. 85 for no loss. Oh, we're having a trial. Trial one here, not allowed. Hemorrhage was not in the ready position. So we would have witnessed 250s in the innings of Samp Camp, but they only end up scoring 133.
Well, the first 5-6 overs, they soaked up too much dot ball, and that came back to haunt them at the end of the innings. They the acceleration wasn't there at the start, but they did pretty well to come back compared to where they were at the start of the innings.
Well, we have a new bowler, Patel. Say Nilesh Patel. I think Nilesh is the son of one of the owners for one of the team here. I think we would have announced Patel. Oh, this time he's going big with a full juicy full toss, and this time I'm telling you, Chandrapal Hemwaj is drowning in honey. That one was just floated up there, ready to be hit, and hit.
Very, very good shot from Chandrapal Imraj. So far in the tournament, two of the most destructive batsmen in the tournament so far, these two, and they're keeping that momentum. They're looking really good.
Well, we have raced on to the 90s, so it's 91 for no loss. Are we going to see the first 100 opening stand?
Well, it seems as if they saved the best for the last, and I don't see why not. They shouldn't be able to get to it the way these two are going. They look confident.
Well, a weird dot goes into the scorer's book as Hemwad just stroked this one off the pads, but there's a man in the way.
Absolutely. We just want to give another big shout out to the man who make this league possible, Mr. MAQ Qureshi. Fantastic effort and tremendous work he puts into this tournament to get this tournament on the way, and he's been really tremendous asset here in South Florida in terms of cricket development and the way he supports cricket. Mr. Qureshi, really, really big foundation, the US Open. Gotta give it up for him.
Yes, in its 12th edition, 92 for no loss, a partnership of 92. They have not had a taste of a wicket. There's nothing to cheer about for the Samp Army. Apart from when they batted, they would have had two batters scoring half centuries, and that's about it.
Absolutely. And tomorrow, the US All-Star with the likes of Ali Khan, Jishan Qureshi, tomorrow, they're going to be displaying their talent and showcasing what they are capable of doing. And I tell you what, Jishan Qureshi's been playing some fantastic cricket here in South Florida, scoring 50s after 50s.
50s is 100. This guy would have scored 100 off some limited amount of balls. I would have read that someplace. And he followed it up with 50s and not out at that. So we're going to be in for a good US Open, the 12th edition. So Patel, he's trying to keep things in check down the leg side. His weight has gone off. So 2 wides in this over. You can't afford that because these guys are seeing the ball as big as a breadfruit, but running away from the bat, you're still having to bowl over those deliveries, which are wide by competition rule, by the laws of cricket.
The fact is that he's intimidated by Lewis, the way he's going massive, destructive player, Lewis. Oh, he's bowling.
Ball them! So we did not see the 100 partnership that we said we were waiting to see, and he walked back a dejected man. Yeah. So we thought we would have seen the 100 partnership for the first in this US Open. It is not to be, but well played, young man. 61 from some 23.
Yeah, very, very positive start, and he already did the damage, and he really showcased some positive cricket, Lewis, to get his team in a demanding position to win this game. And it seems number 3, it looks to be, I'm not quite sure if it's Aaron Rodgers. I just have to Aaron Jones, I beg your pardon. It's cricket, not NFL, eh? So Aaron Jones to the wicket. Takes in his guard. Patel getting the hole in the wicket of Kenar Lewis, who went for 61. A very entertaining 61, to say the least. He played some destructive cricket shots. Any given stadium, most of these shots would have gone for 6. At Lords, Old Trafford, just about anywhere in the world. Sydney. And we're going to be bringing Ardley back to the commentary box. Welcome, Ardley. Your analytical thoughts of what's been going on in this game so far. What's your input?
Well, I'll say it's been merciless. When it comes to the bowler, Kinar was on fire. 61 in 23 deliveries. It's just under 200 strike rate. I mean, he was on fire. And his partner, it's almost 100 partnership. It was 93. The highest partnership so far of 2020 US Open, the 12th edition. So far, it's they seem as if they're going to win on a canter.
Absolutely. I did suggested that we were going to go down to 15 or 14 overs, but the way it looks, if Shandapal Imraj continue the way he's been playing, I don't see why they shouldn't. Oh, that's a elegant shot from Aaron Jones through the covers. Nobody moves. What a fantastic shot from the young man. Beautiful shot there.
No, it's been said over the years you should not try to keep up with the Joneses, but that's one thing you can definitely imitate. That's a classic shot outside the stump. So in this case, you can keep up with the Joneses, Aaron Jones.
Absolutely. Magnificent shot. And the scores, that's the hundreds up for 1 wicket. From 6 over to make it, interestedly, run rate 16.7 runs.
The best we have seen, by far the best we have seen so far for the game. And maybe it will be maybe for the entire tournament.
And it goes to show that the wickets, there's still, because earlier the games, they were very below par score in terms of 130, 140. It goes to show that if you apply yourself and play proper cricket shot, conduct yourself in a decent manner, you can get big total in this wicket. And that's exactly what Shandapal and Kenar Lewis executed perfectly. This is the example of great opening partnership, and really great stuff from the two batsmen. I got to give them credit for it. Really fantastic work.
Absolutely. Kana coming into bowl, first over. He'll be coming in from the commentator's end, the south end, this field.
And we know Imraj liked the spin as well.
You don't have to be in any hurry, but they were in a hurry. Slow down a bit. With just a little over 30, some 35 runs to get, just 35 runs. And I'm always trying to keep it in mind that just in case they come down to net run rate, they should knock it off as early,
quick
as possible.
Absolutely. And
we need to get out of here before 8:30. So why not?
And the way he plays, Imraj, he plays a natural flow of cricket shots. He doesn't sit back and allow the bowler to get a rhythm or get a momentum. He likes to play his cricket shot, and I like to see that in T20 cricket. Batsman applying pressure, let the bowler go out the box, think what to do. Am I going to get a slower delivery, of a quicker one, variation? And it's just the nature of the game, and it's really good from a batsman perspective.
And of course, it's been said that the best defense a lot of time is to go on the offense. And just exactly what you're describing there, you know, when you go on the offense, you confuse the bowler. What should I bowl next? You know, and you allow them to get on top of you, then you will be wondering what is he coming with next.
And that's the sort of cricket I like to watch her playing, because I like to go out the box. You know, I like to be put under pressure when it comes on the cricket, and you know it gets the best out of you if you were a smart cricketer and you know you want to develop the fundamental of your game.
Just trotted an easy single.
No need for a rush. Just 2.5 runs required per over to win the match. Somerset Cavalier. Jones in at number 3. He's on 4 from 1 delivery.
Strike rate of 400.
A very elegant shot he played out through extra cover to get him off the mark with the first delivery. He also plays for the USA national team.
Yes.
Bat at 3 or 4, I think.
He's out of Jamaica.
Jamaica heritage, but I think he lives here in America, of course. If you were to play for the USA, very very good batsman, Aaron Jones. There he goes. He just works this one down to backward point for a single.
So he's on 5 from 2. So that has brought his strike rate to only 250.
That's the nature of the game. Things change, time changes, and that's all that's required of him at the minute. He doesn't need to play anything bizarre out of his nature. He just needs to play his natural game, and he's a stroke player, and that's what required at the minute. You got Imraj at the other hand, who can be explosive or has been explosive all afternoon. He's gotten 28 from 17. Again,
the Somerset Cavaliers are playing as champs. They are the defending champions, and they are playing as if they are here to defend their crown stoutly, and they're doing that right now.
and that's the stamp of authority, you know. Oh, Aaron Jones, a beautiful shot again, a fantastic shot. The fielder was trying to get there effortlessly, but Aaron Jones, the time and the placement, the fielder just couldn't get on the end of it. Very good shot.
As a matter of fact, he had 3 fielders chasing, left them all in dust as the ball sprints across the row down to the boundary.
And it goes to show that you don't need to muscular or play a big shot in T20 cricket. How effective is Jones when he strokes the ball? Play your natural game, and that's exactly what he's doing. And it's beautiful to watch from the highs.
You watch a Kohli, and when Hasim Amla was playing just proper shots and was getting the balls away to the boundary and over the boundary.
He's a
No ugly hee-ho.
very classy campaigner, Jones. He moved up to 10 from 4. Really good batting, and Imraj still looking rather decently, but he's on 28 from 17, but rather quietly but destructively.
And it's not that he's batting slow, but because of the sort of pace that was set by his colleague. Let him look like he was slow, but he's not really batting slow, because a 28 from 17 is acceptable in T20.
Absolutely. Just want to say again to the viewers, thank you all for joining today, and continue to support MAQ TV, and you guys been absolutely tremendous, and we just want to give you guys a big shout out. You're on Facebook Live, you YouTube, you're streaming on YouTube Live, or you on the MAQ app. We just want to say thank you for joining us and continue supporting throughout the tournament.
Yes, of course, downloading the app wherever you are. You can watching cricket as you go. I've done that on many occasions when I'm not in town and cricket is being played. Then I tune into MAQ TV and I watch live.
And the quality of the app is magnificent as well.
Yes.
It doesn't stutter a lot. It doesn't stutter whatsoever. It gives you good clarity, good sound, and that's all you need.
And may I say to the newcomers to MAQ TV, whether you're going by the app, YouTube, or whatever, it's 24/7 cricket. 24/7 cricket. For all the cricket lovers and for all you who would like to learn about cricket, just stay right where you are. MAQ TV. Quick single.
Like earlier in the day, I was saying where this all started. Even though we got into the park in 2008. Remember I was saying about Force Park in Danger Beach?
Absolutely.
I should not have forgotten one Nazir Charlie Javed. He was the captain of that team and he went on to play for the USA 12 years. Became him the vice captain of the USA team. So I think he's somewhere here in the ground. So Charlie, if you're listening up, remember the good old days. 1997, 98 thereabout, when he went on to make the US team, and he stayed there for 12 consecutive years, and this all came out of the Force Park, Dania Beach. That was the home ground of a Pakistan team. So that's where it all began, and Mac came up with an idea that he can have tournaments, and then went on to get the big one into this park here on from 2008. The Nelsons on the board, all ones as a matter of fact, standing 1 foot guys.
Well, that's some fantastic history there, Ivory, for us to know.
Yeah, and of course, Mr. US Open himself is Ivor Henry.
Absolutely.
He's here. He has been here from the very inception. Been here with Mark from Dana Beach, as he was telling us there about the park in Dana Beach. The first park, the very first US Open. Yes. This one is coming towards us. Does it got a distance? No, and it fell short of the fielder as well. And I think they've taken just one.
It was in the air for a very long time. I think the fielder didn't really put maximum effort into it because it was in the air for a very, very long time. But at the end, it fell short and they were able to go through for a single.
Yeah, for a minute I thought it was coming towards our box here, but it had the height, but not the distance.
Absolutely, didn't get the elevation on that he wanted. Aaron Jones, I just love to see the way this young man bat and the way he caressed the ball and placed the gap. He's a magnificent player as well, batting at number 3. It's been a while that I've seen a number 3 batsman as clinical as he is.
And it's good when playing the way he is, because he's placing the ball. For instance, the last one was this pat for an easy 2. No run this time. Just play the ball back to the bowler. And I guess they're just taking a little breather. We could call this the calm before the storm.
Absolutely, just 20 runs away, 19 now for the victory. So the previous partnership between Imrat Chandapal. Thank you. Chandapal Imraj and Kenar Lewis was 93, and this current partnership is 21.
We're counting down here at the Broward Stadium. We are under lights. Come to you from the beautiful city of Lauderhill, from the Broward County Stadium right here in Florida, the USFA. And you are watching cricket from right here on MAQ TV. We give a shout out to you guys over in Asia, India, Pakistan, wherever you are. Those in England and the Caribbean and the world at large, because the world is at our feet.
Prediction was 14 overs, but the way things are seeming, it should be by 11 or 12. They should be able to get to their target.
That will be very good for the side, very good for the team.
And it goes to show that they're defending champion, and they came out tonight and they're stamping in their charity. They want other team to know that, you know what, we're here to defend their title. If you want it, you got to come knocking at a door. You got to come real good, because this is an excellent performance I've seen here tonight from the team at hand so far. Chandapal Imraj muscles this one, but wasn't able to get it the way that he wanted to connect. It was out to mid-wicket for a single. Put Aaron Jones on strike. Classy, coolly looking type of player. Elegant.
Nilesh Patel in his third over. He has so far taken 1 for 24. Coming in from the northern end. Squeezed out there by Aaron Jones. On the offside, they ran a quick single.
Absolutely. He's been the only bowler to succeed in terms of getting a wicket today. And pretty decent for... He's going at 12.5 runs, I think, per over at the minute. Oh, Chandapal Himraj goes, and he goes big. That's gone 25 rows back over long on for 6. A very good shot. Shortish delivery. He waited for it and executed with style. Fantastic shot.
We almost have to call the fire department to get a ladder to go and get that ball. But the fielder happened to climb over. Yes, he made it. And now the ball is back in play. Indeed, that should be a 12.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
So much closer to the target, 124 for 1. Just a matter of time. Partnership 30. We are in the 10th over. Yes, and it's going again. Did he have enough on this one? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The fielder was looking up, counting the stars. So, what did the umpire signal? Was it 4 or was it 6?
6.
It's another 6.
And
All right.
And that's
4 to win from 6 to 2.
And that's the nature of the game, and the way this guy plays aggressively. He plays his natural game, and he plays his game in his head, and that's all that matters to him. And that's what it is once you play in T20 cricket on your team. He goes again, and this time it goes over.
Game, set, match. 3 consecutive 6s. And it's all over.
And it brought him to a 50 as well.
Oh, yes. Another milestone. He batted 50 from 25, 200 strike rate. And the game is over. Game, set, match. In the 10th over. 9 overs and 5 balls. So the Somerset Cavaliers, the defending champions, they are sitting pretty tonight, using just about half the amount of overs as needed to knock off the 136 that was needed. 136 for 1. You want to give the score there? Okay, Kimar Lewis. He was out for 61 of 23. Chandapal Hemraj, 50 from 29, not out, 50 not out. And Aaron Jones, 15 from 11 not out as well. In 9 overs and 5 balls, 136 for 1, 10 extras.
Absolutely a magnificent day of cricket.
Okay, we have Bolsetti. He bowled 2 overs for 31 runs, 15.5. Shangal, 1 for 15. He went for 15 in his one. Gupta was 1 for 24. They I guess they were on the opening onslaught of Jones and Hemraj. Patel, he came in with 1 for 43 of 2 overs and 5 balls, and it disappeared. I think that was Ghana. But only 1 wicket was taken, and the match is over.